Step inside the vault with me.
Hello, I am The Wire, and welcome to Mikey's show.
Hello.
Nice to see you again, Mikey.
You don't mean that.
You're right. I don't.
Anything good on? Yogi Bear movie?
No.
Sorry, Mr. Ranger, sir.
Another Yogi Bear movie?
No.
Scooby-Doo?
No!
The war to save mankind begins now.
Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles?
Fine. Fine. You know what? Let's do it. At least it's not another Hanna-Barbera movie.
We start out in the 90s. We know it's the 90s because this show does everything it can to establish that it's the 90s.
A woman is talking about dreams and driving down the road with purpose. This is Lena Headey as Sarah Connor, and she's on her way to pick her son up from the library.
Her son is John Connor, and he's going to save humanity after he's done getting that high school diploma.
Though from the look of Sarah's blazer and miniskirt, she's the one dressed like a student. Let your youth go, lady. No one's as young as they once were. She gets her son out of the library, but the cops are already waiting for them. They're arrested and put in the car when she sees a totally not suspicious-looking guy walking towards her. Using the power of her miniskirt, she gets the cop to bend over her knee so she can knock him out. She frees herself right as the robot attacks.
Drop your weapon!
The cops are in a losing battle. This robot uses shotguns, automatic rifles, and is practically bulletproof. Sarah shoots it right in the face, and he doesn't even flinch. It just shoots John and causes Judgment Day. Good thing this was all a dream, or humanity might be in trouble.
And now we've seen the evil future that she must prevent. Even if you haven't seen the movies, this was effective at setting up the stakes. Well done, show.
We're introduced to Sarah's fiancé, Charlie, as we follow Sarah and John's attempt to live a normal life. John really likes his civilian life, including his mom's boyfriend, but Sarah says they can't ever think they are safe and they run away.
I guess the dream really spooked her.
Since his fiancée just ran out on him, Charlie goes to the police to report her missing. They give him a nice little surprise.
A synopsis of what Sarah was doing in the second Terminator movie, complete with exploding buildings and dead computer programmer. James Ellison is an FBI agent hunting her down because he thinks she's crazy. Because frankly, the story is crazy.
Apparently the police aren't the only ones with access to that information, as a rather villainous-looking individual with glowing red eyes is also looking over Sarah's record.
When we see John again, he's in class in his new school, and a girl named Cameron, played by Firefly Summer Glau, is asking a lot of questions about his family. Maybe she's flirting. Maybe she's a robot. John's clearly not sure. He heads back to the hovel he and Sarah now live in, and Sarah freaks out that his school put him in a computer class because she thinks he'll get caught hacking, though he assures her that he knows better. She seems to feel bad and asks him if he met any pretty girls. He lies and says no.
Which is rather accurate teenage behavior. Back at school, John tells Cameron that he lied to her about his family, that his dad is actually dead and his mother is very overprotective. Then a substitute teacher arrives and he introduces himself by one name.
My name is Cromarty.
The students reference Madonna and laugh, and he doesn't look like he understands why. He starts taking attendance and... wait. Emo.
He gets to John's name, pulls a gun out of his leg, and opens fire on the class. Cameron gets gunned down, but John escapes through the window. Cromarty is in hot pursuit, but unintentionally lets everyone see the gaping hole in his mechanical leg.
Cromarty is a Terminator, by the way.
Wow. I would have never figured that out had you not said so.
That's what I'm here for. He chases John out into the parking lot, and Cameron runs him over with a car, explaining herself with a reference to the movies.
Come with me if you want to live.
Surprise! She's a Terminator as well.
Really? You know, if you hadn't pointed that out, I would have had no way to know that.
That sounded familiar.
John's look is such a mix of disappointment and here we go again. Whatever else you can say about it, this is a really well-acted show.
Sarah finally makes it to the school, but is attacked by Cromarty, who steals her phone and imitates her voice to set a trap for John.
Mom! I love you, John. Stay right there.
Too bad he knows his mom wouldn't say that, which is kind of sad when you think about it.
At the house, Cromartie, imitating Sarah's voice, attacks a shadowy hoodie, which was Cameron, imitating John's voice, and they have a stony-faced robot fight, which Cameron wins with the help of an electrical cord. But this is only temporary, since the Terminators restart after 2 minutes. She rejoins the Connors and brings them all up to date on when Skynet is supposed to go online.
The Skynet missile defense system goes online April 19, 2011, declares war on mankind and triggers a nuclear apocalypse 2 days later.
I guess I slept in that day.
You didn't miss anything. Oh look, the cops are closing in on the Connors. Should I be worried about that?
Nah. They know about Cromartie's leg, though. That part could be a problem.
At the Connor family's new safe hangar, John's headed up to here with running and begs his mom to end the madness. Sarah promises to stop it and tells Cameron they are going to find Skynet.
John and Cameron have a conversation at a gas station where Cameron apologizes for lying to John and eats some food, which demonstrates that she's more human than Schwarzenegger's Terminator.
She is quickly becoming the most interesting character on the show. If she actually learns behavior from the humans around her, then she might be no more monstrous than people make her out to be.
Sarah meets up with the Dyson family, who aren't exactly pleased at her arrival, considering how their last encounter resulted in the death of her husband. Though with 2 simple words,
We're back.
she agrees to help them. They get away in her car, and Cameron blows up the Connors' truck to slow down Cromartie.
Cameron leads them to a bank and holds it up. They go down to the basement and start assembling a nuclear cannon from parts that a previous time traveler left in safety deposit boxes. This is used to finally stop Cromartie, just as Cameron activates a time machine that is also conveniently in the safe, and they jump forward to the far-off future of 2007.
The 2 women and 1 teenage boy appear naked in the middle of the road and are promptly recorded by somebody's camera phone. This makes them the evening news, and since this made the news, a couple of other people see who's just reappeared after 8 years.
Sarah, John, and the new sister, Cameron, go looking for a team of resistance fighters that Cameron claims John sent back with money and guns to help them. They also look up an old rebel contact of Sarah's who can set them up with new identities.
Danger's not far behind, though, since Cromartie's head traveled into the future with them, and he reactivates his body to continue his pursuit. And with the Connors now reappearing 8 years later, Agent Ellison is back on the case.
But for a show called The Sarah Connor Chronicles, Sarah Connor is really not the focus of the show. Once you know her mission and why it's important, you kind of know everything about her that's worth knowing. How she got engaged is sort of a mystery, since she seems to have no life outside taking care of John, which makes his increasing independence such a problem for her. John is growing up, and she is quickly crossing the line from protecting to smothering. She knows she's running out of time to prepare him for his future.
She's also fighting another clock, because Cameron reveals that in her timeline, Sarah Connor died of cancer in 2005, years before Skynet even activated.
Which raises more questions about future John's motivations. Did he send Cameron back in time specifically to help Sarah skip over her death? Is this some sort of time paradox? What did he really find in the future? What is he trying to accomplish?
All we really know is the answers are important. John's metamorphosis from boy to warrior is the source of everything that's important in this show. The kid is smart, brave, and wants to protect the innocent, but there are some dark underpinnings as well as hints that future and current John might not be on the same paths.
And then there's Cameron. Oh, if you watch this show at all, watch it for her. This may be the best role Summer Glau has ever had, and I do not say that lightly. She's innocent and ruthless, robotic and graceful. She looks right through you and seems to see everything. You can't be sure about anything with her, but you'll have fun trying to figure it out.
Cameron is much more human than Schwarzenegger's Terminator. She can eat, lie, and learn from those around her. It makes her an interesting contrast to the battle-hardened warrior from the second film.
Our last main character is Derek, introduced midway through the season. He's a human resistance fighter sent back in time by John, allegedly to fight the rise of Skynet, but with real intentions that are probably a bit murkier. He's John's biological uncle, so none of the characters are able to really be objective about him, except maybe Cameron, who he seems to really, really hate, even for a robot. After Sarah starts trusting Cameron, it often falls to Derek to be convinced she's up to no good. It makes him kind of a one-note character, but I'll reserve judgment until we find out what their history actually is.
Charlie, now married to another woman, comes back too, because he's an EMT, and in a show like this, you don't introduce a doctor unless he'll be doing some doctoring at some point. It's too bad he's obviously not equipped to deal with killer robots from the future.
FBI agent James Ellison probably isn't equipped to deal with that either, but he just might have no other choice. He's devoted to his work and seems to be a legitimate good guy trying to protect the country, but if he's going to follow Sarah Connor down the rabbit hole, he's going to end up face to face with a killer robot eventually.
His plot is more of a side story though, since the Connors and Cameron are still the main focus.
When you hear Terminator, you probably think of explosions, guns, and robot-on-robot fistfights. And this show does have those, and they look pretty good considering the TV budget. Which is why it will surprise you to hear that this show is actually very philosophical and slow-paced. Most episodes begin with Sarah Connor pondering some moral or historical conundrum in a manner that might be considered pretentious if it wasn't so well written. But it makes for a bipolar show. Terminator might have been many things, but it wasn't introspective. The people who come for the robot killing will have to sit through episodes of navel-gazing to get to it, and people who like that kind of sci-fi are unlikely to watch a show called Terminator in the first place.
The show's planned 13-episode first season was cut down to 9 because of the writer's strike, which probably is why so many of the questions go unanswered. But in spite of all that, Terminator, The Sarah Connor Chronicles is still fun to watch. Even though the two aspects, searching introspection versus killer robots, never really gel, the cast is excellent, and at its best the show is cool, slick, and very smart.
And that's it! We're done! We're done. Bye. Goodbye. Good to see you. Goodbye. Give me back my remote.
Enjoy!